Hello and welcome to the Women's Network. I'm Elke and I am your host. I want to invite you to a wonderful show today. So for those of you who are not quite settled, please do so. And you may want to get yourself a notepad and a pencil because we have some fantastic items that you might want to write down. Okay, back to our show today. As I said, it's going to be very interesting, exciting, and you don't want to miss a minute because we want to talk about keeping fit, staying fit at any age, and I mean at any age, from the year 1 to way up in our later years. So I said, this is a show for everyone. Please settle down and let's introduce our first guest, Yvonne Montse, am I saying this right?
Moundsey.
Yvonne is a former ballerina and now the artistic director of the West Side Ballet. Yvonne, so nice to have you here. I am sorry about your name, but
it's quite all right.
Please tell the audience a little bit about your background. It sounds so fascinating from what I have read.
Okay, I will. I was born in South Africa and I started dancing there. And to make a long story very, very short, went to England and there I got into the Ballet Russe when I was about
Wonderful.
17, 18. And I was with Ballet Russe for a while and then war broke out and everything, we just had to go back home, and so I went home and then from there I went to, I got to America. Oh, I went to Australia, and from Australia we went to America, and that's where I first met Mr. Balanchine, and subsequently joined New York City Ballet after many, many.
God, it sounds wonderful. Well, we have a lot to talk about. I want to hear more about your career in New York, and I'm so glad we have you here.
Thank you.
And to talk about how you're still staying so fit.
Oh.
So with that, I want to introduce you to my second guest, Ebba. Ebba, nice to have you here. Ebba Rosenblatt. Ebba is a gymnast and very fit, very healthy. Ebba, please tell the audience just a little bit about yourself.
Well, I started out as a dancer. In the 50s, I was studying ballet at the Metropolitan School, and I remember seeing my beautiful friend in The Prodigal Son. I remember it so well. And later, when I lived in Santa Monica, I used to go to classes, and then we became friends. But when I was 50, I started to do gymnastics. And now I compete in Senior Olympics, and these are my medals from last year. But I have
Wonderful.
14 gold medals.
14.
I do 2 events. I do floor exercises and I work in the rings. And I never had much strength in my upper body, although as a dancer, of course, I was very flexible and I can do the splits and all that. But in gymnastics, I learned a whole different set of, using a whole different set of muscles.
Well,
plus it's fun. It's so much fun.
Well, I can tell by your looks. I mean, you look like you're out there every day.
I am,
and you have absolutely no problem with your weight, and you look terrific. And when I first sat down here in my chair, sitting next to Yvonne, I thought I better sit straight because I watched her class and everybody was just perfect. So that's not really my normal stand. But before we get into that, I want to introduce you to my third guest, last but never least, Liz. We have to wave since we're a little far away.
Nice to meet you.
Liz hails from Germany and came here to do a lot of things. Among them is skateboarding skate,
Wind-
sailing,
wind
inline
skating.
scaling,
Inline skating.
and so on. Liz, nice to have you here.
Thank
Please
you.
tell the audience a little bit about yourself.
I come from Germany as a farm girl. Can you see, you know? When I had never an opportunity to do anything what I want to do in life, have fun, working all the time. When I came to United States, and I thought, well, that's the place. Now I can do what I like to do. So I started skateboarding when I was 52 to my youngest son. And from then on, and 9 years, I start short after that, wind skating on the skateboard. And then when I was 72, I start inline skating. And I keep going. Now I'm 80. At that time when I started, I said I do it till I'm 80. Now I say I want to do it till I'm 100.
Naturally, I mean, no less.
I don't
than
know,
that.
make it, but
No less than that.
I'm going to be in the Guinness Book record.
Oh, I hope so. I hope so, because you have been in almost every magazine I can think of, including Time magazine. Right?
Yeah, all over.
And foreign magazines.
Foreign
all the
magazine,
different-
all over.
It's fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, what I can see right here, we are a wonderful group, and each one has their own way of staying fit. And I'm talking about myself. I mean, I just started, not just about 5 years ago, I started skiing. And people said to me, aren't you a little old to ski? I mean, you do that when you're younger, like 16 or 19. What about if you break a leg? Well, we'll talk about that later, because I could ask Liz on that skateboard, or ask Eva on her rings going out there. And you trying to stay so straight. So why don't we start with our first clip that Yvonne brought us, and she will narrate over some of her wonderful pictures when she was a ballerina and with Balanchine, and let's go.
Oh, that was a ballet by Mr. Balanchine called Divertimento. At that time it was called Caracol, but it was one of there were 5 ballerinas in that role and in that ballet. So it's still done today, Divertimento. That's with George Tumal in Black Swan. That was a concert thing I did in New York. And what else is there? That's a Prodigal Son. That was one of my roles I just loved doing. It was with Francisco Monsión. He was a wonderful partner. It was Balanchine. It was one of Balanchine's early ballets. He did for the Diaghilev Company, and I was coached by Madame Dubrovska. And there is Mr. Balanchine, and Patricia Wilde on his left, and me on his right. This was on tour in Germany. Yeah. I think it was before that. Yes, that's me teaching, and in the school, in the West Side School, and some of the students, Caroline, and yeah, and that's my school now, and I'm the director of that school.
Wonderful, wonderful. When I came by to school, I just loved the way you held yourself in front of your students.
Thank you.
So now you are a teacher. Do you dance now and then, or do you?
No.
And what makes you stay so fit? What makes you stay so young? What makes you stay so alert?
Well, a lot of things. I think I was lucky. I was born on a farm and raised on a farm, and that's, you know, I had a good beginning.
Yeah.
Healthy eating, healthy living, and doing what you love to do. I just love to teach, and I love the kids. I just love it, and it keeps me young. I've got all these little kids around me, and little ones and bigger ones, and so on. And I stay fit. I still do some exercise. I walk a lot, and then of course teaching. I've got to do a little bit of exercise.
Yeah.
And I don't demonstrate as much as I used to.
But I saw that you have a wonderful rapport with your students, because I was there sort of at the end of the class, and I saw the love that is between teacher and student, and I saw that. And maybe looking at it from this point, because it's not, you're not doing anything really physical right now, but I see how that also keeps you young, to be around your students, to be
Oh, yeah,
around.
absolutely, yes.
So I got a sense of that, what keeps you going as well.
Oh, absolutely, yes.
Yeah.
I just love them, and they, you know, they.
And you still were in your poses and poises, and
Yeah.
it was wonderful to see.
I can still move.
So I
a
will
little
come
bit.
over and watch it. In fact, as we were talking earlier before the show, I wish they had something for adults, just to get your balance.
But we do.
You do.
We have adult classes. Oh,
That's
yeah.
wonderful. Well, I will be coming knocking at your door.
Absolutely.
Okay, let's go to a totally different type of staying fit, young, healthy, and active. Liz.
Yeah, Liz, she always liked the young people, and I want to keep up with them. When I start first skateboarding, and the kids never know my name, so I roll on the sidewalks, then they call me sidewalk surfer. Here comes the sidewalk surfer. Or they call me, here comes skateboard mama,
Yeah. What do you like most? Skateboarding, sailing, inline?
Well, I would say I do use the skateboard now for wind skating with the sail.
That's
when
tough.
it's loud, no, not really.
No?
It takes a little practice, and soon as you know how to catch the wind, and you go. You don't have to do nothing else. Yes,
you wear a helmet?
hold your sail. No, I know, take nothing, I
Well,
would lose the helm.
I want to see you there in 20 years from now.
Well,
Okay, we also have some pictures. Let's see some pictures. So we are ready if our director is ready. But in the meantime, what can you think of next? I mean,
well, I maybe go next parachute jumping.
oh no.
Well, maybe I'm
Here we go,
90.
picture.
Oh, that's when I was the first time, 56. That's why I'm 60. And that was on the sidewalk in Venice, in Santa Monica, in Venice. Because the first one, and that is in Venice. I do the slalom. We had a slalom there. I was the only one with the skateboard. All the other kids there was not inline skating, there was roller skates.
Yep.
And then probably the next one, I don't know.
That's my
That's
speed.
the wind skating probably. No, that was the Olympic. That's where I got all my medals. 84, I was on the Senior Citizen Olympic, so I was always on the parade with my skateboard, and cheer them all on. That is in the Duda Parade in Pasadena. I was on the parade there, everyone cheer me there on. I was the old lady from Pasadena living in Santa Monica. There I'm on my wind sail. I love that. The wind blows you and you go. And you really, sometimes I had couple bruises. I fell on my butt, black and blue like a tattoo. And here I am, boy in San Francisco of the San Francisco Bridge. Look, see, she does all this. The old lady
the
do
San
everything.
Francisco Bridge, yeah. That is great. That's wonderful.
Oh, and here I did modeling for the Detail magazine, the dress there on the head
That's
with
cute.
the flower.
That's
And
cute.
that was in Venice on the skateboard.
That's wonderful. That is wonderful. You deserve the medals. You deserve the medals. I know you had one for me, but it got so heavy, so I think I leave them on you. That's
Okay.
just wonderful. And again, last but not least, Ebba. Ebba, you are, I can't believe you hanging on those rings as a gymnast. I mean, where do you get the strength?
It just takes practice.
What is
That's
the
all.
practice? Give us a day, like
I work out on the beach in Santa
Okay.
Monica almost every day.
yes.
For about an hour and a half, and I go up in the rings, and in between I do my stretches, my handstands and headstands and stuff like that. And by the way, if I may mention this, I, I do my floor exercises as an act, and I perform in talent shows.
Really?
And my next
Wonderful.
talent show is in the Santa Monica Church, Santa Monica Catholic Church, August 27.
Oh, we have to
And
see that.
I love to perform. I love to be on stage. I feel, you know, alive. And when I first came to America, I'm Swedish, my first job in New York was as a dancer showgirl at this famous nightclub called the Copacabana.
Yes, we all know
And
that.
that was when I was first in America, and I was so shy. They used to call me in the dressing room. They used to call me the quiet one. But when I was on stage, and I was always in the front line, I always got something extra to do, I felt like a fish in water.
Yes.
I felt like I
Yes.
was home.
Right.
As if, you know, I knew ever since I was a baby or before I was born that I was going to be a dancer, a performer.
And look at you, you were at the Copacabana while Yvonne was at the
That's
New York
right.
City Ballet.
And during the
And
day-
Liz was at the beach right here.
Right.
Oh yeah, I made it all here in California.
She was dancing
I
on a
got the
skateboard.
star here in California.
That
Well,
paid for my dancing
that's
classes
right.
at the Met for
That's
Anthony
great.
Tudor.
Well, I'm
Uh-huh.
anxious to see your tape. So we have a little
Okay,
tape
yeah.
of you on the rings, which is
Yeah.
incredible. And
That was the Senior Olympics last year. It's always at
and
Valley
you get your
College.
medals as well. I see you have 2 medals on right there.
That was
and you
for last
probably
year. That
have,
was for this. It's Senior Olympics
do we
first
have
place.
it? No. Okay. Well, but how do you stay so?
This
So.
is-
Oh, there you are. Okay.
That's you talk.
Oh, well, how do I stay in shape?
Yeah.
I do that every day. Yeah, I do it every day. And
far as nutrition,
I
do
eat
you-
very healthy.
Yeah.
Basically, I keep a sort of balance. I'm not fanatic about anything at all. But I also believe very much in the importance of staying detoxified, keeping your body pure as much as possible. I believe in fasting occasionally. You know, that's what I do if something is not right. I go on a cleansing diet or a fast. You know about that. And that keeps my strength up. And I mean, hey, to get up in the rings is much easier if you're a few pounds less.
Right, I
Believe
know
me.
could make it.
Wonderful. Wonderful. That was great. Wonderful.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
you.
Yeah.
I
So
know, I
what's-
watch you every day.
That's right. You meet at the beach. And
Oh
I
yes,
understand you
we
go
hang
down
out together.
Right, and drink one together.
Yes,
and you go to Muscle Beach
yes, that's right.
and you do your rings. Now, what's next for you? Besides,
me?
yeah.
Well, for me, what I hope is next is more commercials. I have a fabulous agent for commercials, and I did my first last month. And also more performing and performing for money as well.
Well,
Although
think
I
we-
love to do what I do,
Yes.
and I would do it anytime, anywhere, I want to make money. I want to buy a car.
Yeah.
I want, you know, the things that.
I also know you are writing a book
Oh,
On-
that's true. Yes.
on
Well, I'm working on a book which is going to be a pictorial coffee table book, and the subjects are going to be people, mature people, not old people, because none of us are old,
no.
over 70, minimum 70, who are doing great things, who are enjoying life,
Right.
and like Yvonne, like Liz, like me, like you, but you're not old yet. And that's another goal I have. I
Yes.
don't have a title, I don't have a publisher, but I know who I want. Can I say who I want?
Well, we'll talk about that later. But right
Okay.
now, let's talk. but I want to ask Liz, don't you get exhausted and you go back every day? Do you have a nutrition plan, or
No,
do you?
well, I'm not really nutrition. I don't believe on pills and stuff like that.
So you just
I take the net and cook all healthy food.
right,
you know.
yeah.
All my own. I cook at home every day and having always everything. Vegetable, fruit, and whole grain bread and all that. I'm a farm girl. We always live more.
So what I'm getting from our conversation is that our mind is really
Right.
very
Very
important
important.
Oh,
on
Absolutely.
this.
Oh,
Yes.
yes.
If we don't put in our mind what we really want to do and how we want to construct our lives in the later years or at any time of our life, we could be vegetables out there. So I think the mind is very important.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah. And I think you have to be happy.
Exactly.
Happiness is very important, and you owe it to society to be happy.
Yes.
And do what you love doing,
Exactly.
and
Yeah.
eat well,
Eat
Yeah.
well, right?
Yes.
live a good life, clean
Yes.
life.
I also, you just mentioned, do what you love doing. I think that is so important, and I know Liz for sure does what she loves. I
Oh.
used to see her 15 years ago in Venice, and I said, look at that lady. I just love what she does. And then I lost track of you. When I talked to Eva, she knew you. I said, you have to bring her to the show. And it shows.
Right.
Tell the audience, as some profound words, to keep going, what does it take?
Well, I like to be with people, and that's what when I started, and I know the young people, they all liked me, but the old people not so well. They said, "Oh, you old lady, you crazy, you break your neck."
This is
And
so
then
true.
I said,
It's true.
then I said, okay. I said, the least I had fun before I break
You
my
know,
neck.
I have noticed that older people are more critical of what one does than the young people. The young people are having
They
fun
think it's
watching
great,
you.
yeah. They call me always before
Right.
kid skateboard mama. Now they call me skateboard granny. They was all little.
And you love it. See,
I
that's
love it.
great. And you run with it and go with it.
Right.
Eva, if you had some words for the audience, just about 30 seconds worth, what would you tell the audience to stay fit and to be happy, loving,
Me?
whatever? Yeah.
Well, I would say I totally agree with Yvonne. You must be happy. It's the most important thing that you're happy, because then you create happiness for yourself and your surroundings and your life. That's how you create your future. And love what you do, and I love what I do. I'm really focused on my performing and doing gymnastics. And find something, if you don't know what's good for you to do exercise-wise, just find something you like, whether it's walking or running or,
Yes.
or
Yeah.
just laughing. Have fun.
And it's never too late. Like Liz
Right,
started
never too late.
skateboarding
I
at
started
52.
52.
I
I
started
never
too
did
late.
skiing, never, nothing.
Yeah,
Yes. No, and friends. You must have friends.
friends.
Lots
Very
of friends
important.
are very important.
Because
in
that's
one's
one
life.
of the big
That's true.
things that
Yes.
people get lonely.
Yes.
So you have to have friends.
Must.
And with friends, you do these things and you talk and you,
Right.
especially activity is so wonderful to do with someone. I jog, and it's really kind of a lonely sport. And when you jog, for me, it's hard to talk. And sometimes I say, I've got to find something else. Because it's you know.
It's
Anyway,
hard.
I want to tell you, you were terrific, all of you. And I wish we could talk again in a year, in a couple of years, and see what we're doing. And I'm sure Liz has gone into more, whatever the latest sports activity.
You're climbing
And-
Mount Everest.
I never was afraid. I
Ebba
try
is-
everything.
Yeah, and Ebba is doing more on her rings and floor exercises, and I know you will still be there and have the perfect
I hope
stand.
so.
So I want to thank all of you. It was wonderful having you here and giving out the message, staying fit, staying young, staying healthy, and happy at any age. Thank you, Liz. Thank you, Ebba. And thank you, Yvonne.
Thank you.
And to my
Thank you.
audience, thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
joining us today. I had a lot of fun, and I got a lot of information out of this, how to stay fit, healthy, happy, young, and be fresh at all times. So why don't you do the same, okay? And when you have a chance, watch us again. It was a wonderful, great show. Until then, bye-bye. It really is.